Let's fucking go.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Comic Game Movie Show. My name is Deshaun and today I'm here to review Season 1 of Marvel Studios' Wonder Man. Now, Wonder Man has been a weird fucking project because, like, Wonder Man is a project that has been done for 2 years now. Or maybe not 2 full years, but it's been done for a while. It's been done for at least maybe a year and a half. It's a project that was conceived and created back when the MCU was still going to do the Kang Dynasty and whatnot. So, like, a lot of Wonder Man is based in that reality, based in that version of the MCU, which we all know the MCU has changed a lot in the past 2 years. The direction of the MCU has changed a lot in the past 2 years. Like, you know, we went from Kang Dynasty to Doomsday in the past 2 to 3 years. And this show was conceived in that era, which kind of made me worried about it because another show that was also conceived in that era was Ironheart. And while I enjoyed Ironheart more than some people, even I can say that a lot of the shit that happened in the show and a lot of the reasons the show wasn't popping the way it could have has to do with the fact that so much of it is not going to be resolved. So much of it is based around shit that wasn't working, but they had already made the show in anticipation of it working. So Wonder Man is coming out later than it was supposed to be. Not only that, but all 8 episodes of the show are being dumped on Disney Plus. Or I say dumped on Disney Plus, but I actually do think it was actually a good idea for them to release the whole thing. But it just doesn't feel that way because Marvel has sort of been on a dumping spree with. Look, I'm a huge MCU guy. You guys already know that. So I'm not going to sit here and try to conspiracize that Marvel has something against people of color or women and people of color. But it is a bit odd that, coincidentally, both Echo, Ironheart, Wonder Man, and I believe there's another show. I'm trying to think, like, no, that might be it. Echo, like, those 3 projects in particular were all just dumped. You know what I mean? Which, you know, it might be something, it might be nothing. I personally don't think it's anything, but I do think it's a bad look, if nothing else. And because, like, them releasing all of Wonder Man was actually the right decision for the show because of the way the show works, but it is a weird look. But either way, I had heard rumblings about Wonder Man. John Campea had heard whispers that it was a good show. I heard other people who were in, like, the Hollywood, like, insiders talking about it and hearing whispers that it was a good show. So I was excited for the show. I was excited to see what they did with the show. And I gotta say, they turned out fucking, it turned out fantastic if I'm being completely honest with you. In the end, Wonder Man ended up being a fantastic show. And Wonder Man character is a unique character in Marvel in general. The Wonder Man character was created in 1964. And he actually debuted in an Avengers comic as a villain. Often Wonder Man's origins is a villain. So, like, Wonder Man is sort of like Deadpool and, like, Scarlet Witch in the sense that people forget those characters have been good guys for so long in the comics and in people's minds that people forget they started off as villains. Wonder Man started off as a villain. And in fact, my most memorable thing of Wonder Man I remember is the Earth's Mightiest Heroes, the animated show version of Wonder Man, which that version of him was just like a purple energy guy. Because Wonder Man's whole power is he has, like, control of ionic energy, which I can't fucking explain ionic energy to you. Like, it's just like a malleable energy. Like, he is a living energy, essentially. And, like, he's got infinite power, like, energy in him. I can't really describe Wonder Man's powers and what he could do with them. I just know they're purple and they're ionic energies. And in the Earth's Mightiest Heroes, he can grow, he can shrink, he can fly, he can do a lot of shit with it. But Wonder Man, but also in the comics, Wonder Man is so fascinating because he's a mainstay in the West Coast Avengers team that shows up in the comics all the time. He also has a weird relationship with Scarlet Witch as Vision in the comic book, Vision is based off of Simon Williams' Wonder Man's brain patterns. So when Wanda eventually meets Simon Williams, go figures, they hit it off since Vision's literal personality is based off of him. So Wonder Man's a weird character, but he's not an insignificant character. Like, he has a storied history throughout Marvel and Marvel Comics. So when you hear they're making a show about him, you just wonder what they're gonna take. And they decided to laser point on an aspect of the Wonder Man character that's in the comics and blow that up even more. Which in the comics, Wonder Man is an actor. He's a big Hollywood actor who, funny enough, he's a real life superhero, but he's also a Hollywood actor. And often in the comics, not too dissimilar from the show, he's way more interested in being an actor than he is being a superhero. Like, the superhero thing is just like, okay, I'm gonna do that because it's the right thing to do, but I'm an actor first. And for the show to take that aspect of the Wonder Man character and make a show around him being in Hollywood and the actor aspect is very unique. And the show is carried by these two great performances by Sir Ben Kingsley and Yahya, I think it's Abdul Mateen. I think that's how you say his name. Yahya Abdul Mateen. I think. I never can say his name correctly, but Yahya Abdul Mateen is another one of those rising black actors in Hollywood, in my opinion. There were four. I say was because one of them passed away, Chadwick Boseman. But it's like him, Michael B. Jordan, John David Washington, and Yahya. And there's a couple others. What's it? Not Idris Elba. Idris Elba's already here. The other guy, I always forget it. Eldris Idris. I can't say his name. He was just in he was in Snowfall. That guy. There's a couple actors who are like black actors, in my opinion, who are really on the come up, who are really starting to pop and be in these be the leads in these big movies. Yaya's another one of them. Yaya was in Candyman. I mean, he was in 2 Aquaman movies. He's been on the come up. He's been in a lot. The first time I ever saw Yaya was actually, funny enough, in what's that show? Black Mirror, the Black Mirror episode. So funny. There's 2 actors that I saw. Daniel Kaluuya, another big time actor. Saw him first time in a Black Mirror episode. But either way, Yaya's great. He plays Simon Williams with so much heart and so much earnestness. And like, well, not even hard earnestness. It's, you can understand him because he's a struggling actor. He has a hard time of showing himself. And it's so much of acting is about being vulnerable. And about imbuing the characters you're portraying with vulnerability. But when you yourself have difficulties being vulnerable in real life, it can affect your work. But he's passionate about this. And it's awesome seeing, too, this other side of Hollywood. Because so many times when you see Hollywood, you think of the glitz and the glam. But it's like, nah, dude, while there's this glitz and the glam, there are these people who are just staying in these expensive-ass apartments trying to small shitty apartments, just hoping and praying to get a break, man. And seeing that perspective, and also it taking place in the MCU and seeing how that kind of affects people's thinkings on superhero movies and whatnot, was just fascinating. Also, Sir Ben Kingsley is in this, and Ben Kingsley's great. I've loved him as Trevor Slattery. I am one of the people who wasn't that upset over the whole Mandarin thing in Iron Man 3. I was just like, oh, okay. Because I thought it made sense. I was like, okay, you guys aren't going to do, the traditional Mandarin is a little racist. Like, let's get that out of the way. The traditional Mandarin is a little racist. This is like Tilda Swinton and Doctor Strange and Doctor Strange. I was like, I get why you didn't want to just have some Asian person be, leading Doctor Strange. It's like, okay, now you're just like stereotyping Asian people as these wise old people. It's like, well, shit. Then what am I supposed to do here? Same thing happened there. I'm like, well, you can't have just some Chinese terrorists doing all this. Otherwise, what message are you sending? And I actually thought it was kind of a clever idea of designing a terrorist so that way they never know who's actually fucking with them. And I thought Ben Kingsley was great. I thought he was hilarious when he reappeared in Shang-Chi almost a decade later, maybe being a decade later, and he was hilarious in that. I thought it was funny in his little short, All Hail the King. I thought that short, it's my favorite one. Like, they used to have those Marvel one-shots that used to come out, which honestly, I feel like they need to bring those back, but this is my opinion. But I thought he was funny. I thought he was great in that one shot. So seeing him come back here and seeing more characterization of it, you really find out that that Mandarin thing really does weigh on him. It weighs on him. He does sort of feel responsible for it, but he's just a he's just a bullshitter. He's just a keep going and keep going. And the greatest part about this show is the chemistry between those two. It is fantastic. It is never look away great. Those two carry this thing, and the way the show is shot, the way it's acted, the heart of this show, the human moments of this show. And this is a show about the artistry of acting and what acting is truly about, and which is about connecting with people through the screen, connecting with people through your performances, and making other people not feel alone. It's a love letter to acting. It's a love letter to Hollywood. It's also extremely meta. Wonder Man is a 10 out of 10 for me. I loved it. I thought it was one of the best MCU shows they ever made. I hope we get a season 2. I don't know if we will, but I'm hoping all these good reviews will help it get a season 2 because I fucking loved it. Anyways, thank you guys for joining the Comic Game Movie Show. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Goodbye.